Welcome back to this very special Best of Justice. The border crisis has been a topic I covered extensively over the years. Let's take a look back at my investigations when I traveled down to the southern border.
So me and Matilda are here on the border in Cochise County in Arizona. Matilda and I are going to go for a little walk and find out how protected we are from those who want to cross our border. Matilda, show them your teeth. I didn't bring my gloves. As you can see, we're coming to the end of the 20-foot fence, and going further, there is virtually no fence. There's virtually no fence. So for those people who think that the border is protected by a fence, virtual or otherwise, it's not. People can simply walk across the border from Mexico into the United States. You're the sheriff of Cochise County.
Yes.
What is the impact of this fence on your county and law enforcement as you see it?
Well, the fence is a deterrent. It's not the fix-all. It's not all the remedy, but it's a measure, and it's a symbol to tell people don't come across here. For 33 years working in this county and seeing the lack of will to secure this border, we have a president now that's actually put the will in place for us. When 80-90% of all the drugs in this country that come into our communities is coming through this southern border, having a secure border is so important when you have 91 people a day dying of opium, heroin overdoses a day.
We live right on the border, so it's concerning.
What's the scariest situation that you've encountered?
Well, the scariest was probably 10, 15 years ago when someone was in our house.
Was she an illegal?
Oh, yes, yes.
Well, the worst one that someone in my family encountered is my daughter was confronted by a runner a few years ago.
When you say runner, you mean a drug runner?
A suspected drug runner.
As you can see, this border fence has been lifted to accommodate the monsoon. Is that what's going on? And I'm standing here with someone who has a ranch and property along the border. As you sit in your house, do you see people coming across your ranch who are illegal?
I have been had people walk in my utility room on me. I had illegal confront me in my utility room. I had them try and break in as they watched my husband drive down the road.
So today, kind of an active day, more than 1,000 pounds of marijuana seized here at the Nogales Border Patrol Station.
Yes, ma'am. Earlier today, our agents encountered about 24 backpackers just east of the town of Nogales and resulted in the seizure of a little bit over 1,100 pounds.
Is the seizure of over 1,000 pounds of marijuana unusual?
No, not unusual. It's definitely a monthly occurrence here. Today, when we seized, 1,100 pounds of marijuana, when they're transporting heroin, it's a kilogram, which is much easier to conceal, and so we see that more in the vehicles, concealed in vehicles.
With the opioid epidemic being more serious in the United States, you're seeing hardcore drugs coming across the border?
We are. We've seen a significant increase in heroin, for instance.
It's pitch black. There's nothing.
So generally they have guides that they're paying to bring them into the United States, and they follow the guides.
Is night preferred?
Absolutely. So we do have some technology advantage at night, but at the end of the day, whether they're hiding under a tree or running down a trail, that's something that is difficult for an agent to deal with. So we have to be careful of where we're going, watch our footing, etc. We have to look under every bush, every tree out here, because we don't know if they hid something or if someone's hiding out there.
What you're seeing right now is me 100 yards from the border through the technology, through the night vision that Border Patrol has. Their technology is even more advanced. We can't talk about that. But as they police and patrol the area, they can see shadows, they can see individuals coming along the border, irrespective of how black it is, how dark it is, the fact that there are no markings and no roads.
Here at the border wall of Cochise County, right next to Mexico, and we're going to take one of the razors up to the top of the mountain to find out exactly where the Biden administration, on their first day in, decided to stop construction of this border wall and end all of Border Patrol at the border.
As you can see, I'm standing here in the middle of some construction material, literally the material that is being used for the construction of the border wall that's right in front of me. On the first day of the Biden administration, the contracts were canceled. Everyone was told that there would be no further construction of the border wall. As a result, everyone left, and there's one security guy here. That's the guy who's been hired by the private company that owns this material to make sure that no one steals it. But there is total stoppage of any work at the border now. And as we go up, we'll see that the border wall was stopped completely, and now there's no protection at all. All right, Sheriff, here we are on the border of Mexico and the United States in Cochise County. Tell us exactly how much land borders Mexico in your county.
In our county, in Cochise, we have 83 miles of international border. It's a county that's the 38th largest in the country with just under 6,300 square miles.
All right, so with 83 miles of border with Mexico, how can you possibly police what's going on in terms of immigrants coming in from Mexico?
Well, that's a huge, complex challenge, and that's why we rely on our state partners, our federal partners, and local law enforcement working together with our community to secure this border.
All right, let's talk about, let's just zoom right in to what happened on the first day of the Biden administration. How did that change what you guys were doing at the border?
Well, let me say this. We had organized calm on this border. When President Biden signed the executive order, which declared the southwest border non-emergency, it took away funding, resources, technology, and it stopped the construction of this wall. And that's why we're standing here today.
All right, John, I suspect that no one knows better about what's going on the border between Mexico and the United States than a man like you. How many acres do you own on the Mexico-Arizona border?
We have 16,000 acres.
16,000. In fact, we're sitting on your property right now.
We
correct?
are. We are. I've leased this area to the contractor for a detour while they're building the border.
Well, no, they're not building it anymore. They stopped.
There you go.
How do you feel about that?
That is one of the worst things that has ever happened in my lifetime on the chance of getting the border controlled.
Why is it bad?
Well, here we are. We have a wall. We have 10.5 miles of the border. We've got the wall up, but the infrastructure is not done. And if it isn't completed, Border Patrol won't be able to get up here when it floods during the summer. Or we had a snow a week ago and couldn't get up here on the border then. So there'll be no access to the border. And already the Border Patrol is impacted on access, and so they're cutting the bottom of the wall. They're not climbing it, they're cutting the bottom of it.
You mean with like equipment?
Acetylene torches. And then they chip out the grout. And then they cut a 1.5 piece of the ballard out and crawl through it, put it back in place, put mud on it. Nobody knows they came.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.